Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Kandahar, a movie starring Gerard Butler as a CIA operative who completes a job, then gets stuck behind enemy lines and has to get to Kandahar in order to survive. Smash a like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Sorry, just ate dinner. Yes, John. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 10, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Joan, you're messing up my whole cadence. Here, sit over here. Sit over here. Okay. So, this takes place in Iran, and then their cover is blown. And so it's a race against time to get out of Iran and get to Kandahar. Because the CIA screwed up and everybody's after them. It's not a bad premise, I guess, other than, if you could ignore the obvious sort of propaganda. Because the premise is that the Iranians do have a nuclear program and they blow it up. So it works both as propaganda and as a movie. So, yeah, I could see this being a good flick because... basically you have to escape a country where everybody's trying to kill you. May 26th. And it looks like it has some action. Gerard Butler's decent action actor, I guess. His little sidekick here is the guy, his man on the inside. Billed as an action movie. Seems to have a lot of action. So first act is the mission, right? So they go into Iran, wherever they are. They come up with this amazing plan. They blow up the stinking Iranians. They'll never be using this thing again to build their nukes. We've set them back 20 years. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Oh, their cover's blown. They missed the plane. Act 2. How the hell do we get out of here? I don't know. We're going to have to drive across Iran to Kandahar. How far is that? It's 400 miles. Oh my God. Through the most dangerous part of the desert. So it's going to be very manly like that. Along the way, everybody's trying to kill them. Maybe they've got some contacts. There'll be like one contact guy who was in on the mission and for whatever reason stayed behind, but helps them, then betrays them. There's always one of those guys. And, along the way, they start out with a vehicle and weapons, and by the end of the movie, they're down to running with 3 more bullets left. Only got 3 more bullets. Save one for me. One of those movies. So they either get to Kandahar or they die. I don't know. Probably get to Kandahar, I'm going to say. I mean, again, it's not a bad premise. You got a whole country after you. The downside of a movie like this, it does feel a bit propagandistic. So, is this have they done their research? Does it even matter if they do? How much do you know about the Iranian countryside and the Republican Guard and their actual police system and how they do things? Because it wouldn't be a movie if they just, it's so corrupt and nobody cares and we just drove the 400 miles. Took a few hours. That wouldn't be much of a movie, right? It has to be like the whole country's looking for him. The whole country. So, I mean, from an action movie's perspective, I think this will be fairly watchable. I do like Gerard Butler, but man, he picked some stinkers, I think. I like the look of the Plane, but that didn't do very well. I kind of still want to see it. I thought it was a decent premise. This is a little more on the nose, but at the same time, it's a little harder to get on board with the protagonist because he is in the CIA, right? And it's just like you're kind of whitewashing the CIA, making him look super heroic. Yeah, I'm sure there's some heroes in that mix, but there's also some guys who are pretty ruthless. Seems to me like if they actually did this, they'd just drone strike the place until it was obliterated. But I think the CIA probably spent more time making sure this movie made them look good than actually doing their jobs. But that's just my speculation. Um, so maybe not. Maybe not. I don't really know that much about the CIA. Um, but I think it'll be all right. I think it'll be pretty watchable as an action movie because you have a whole country against two guys, and maybe along the way there's one or two other guys. I don't know. Iran. The problem with doing Iran is, you can't. I don't think there's going to be a lot of nuance here, right? There's a lot of complex things going on in Iran, and because they're on the wrong side of the, I'll say, world political spectrum, I don't think the movie makers can give it much nuance other than, oh, this guy's okay. He wants to be like America, right? So that's kind of the problem. Whereas if you look at something now, like if they do something now in the Cold War, it's a difference between doing a movie that takes place in the Cold War while the Cold War is going on, and then after it's over. Like after it's over, now you can do all the nuance you want, right? I mean, they even did a TV show called The Americans from the Soviets' perspective, running around in the 80s, right? The problem with this, I don't think you're going to get any of that kind of nuance. You're just going to get a straight up action movie. But if you want a straight up action movie, I think you could do worse than Gerard Butler. He seems to be in a lot of them. But on the other hand, I don't think his track record's all that great. But that's not really his fault. He's kind of just the actor. And when you're an actor, you kind of just got to do things. Right, Little Joan? Right, Joan? I think he's good in these roles. He's believable in these roles. I just wish they'd give him a good screenplay once in a while. It just doesn't seem to really get him, not since way back when. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more bass takes. If you can find a more bass take it. We'll see you at the Lunacy Brewing on Wednesday at 7 p.m. in Audubon, New Jersey, or we'll see you here tomorrow.